These two are such experienced travelers. I've really learned something here. We were talking about this skip lagging a minute ago. Now, what that is, and I'd never heard that term, and some kid just got caught doing it because American Airlines has shut it down now. You buy a ticket from, and his example was Gainesville, Florida to New York City. There was a layover in Charlotte. Well, really, Charlotte was his final destination. He got off the plane. He got a cheaper ticket going to New York than he would have been from.
Yeah, that may have been like a $170 ticket.
Exactly. So he's, the other one was probably $210 or whatever, $250. So he gets off in Charlotte. Well, they got him, and because they had checked his license, which was a North Carolina license. And once he landed, said, we don't allow skip lagging, so they made him pay the extra money.
Were they keeping an extra eye on him, too, because he was an unaccompanied minor?
Maybe, and his dad said it was the first time he had flown alone. But he was at least 16. He was old enough to have a license, which he did.
Okay.
Well, maybe they checked the dad's license. I don't know, but the license was North Carolina. Nonetheless, we're sitting here just chatting about it.
Check bags and whatnot.
You know what Dave and Chris Demm said? Now, Biggie, you tell me if you're this experienced of a flyer. They put a change of panties and socks in their carry-on just in case their check baggage is lost. That way, at least they have their skivvies, their drawers, and
for one day
at the hotel.
At the hotel.
No, I never would have.
I don't think of that.
I think that's no.
But
you don't do that?
No.
I thought everybody did. You've got to bring at least one change of underwear.
No, I've never even considered that. Now, but here's the interesting part. I do keep an extra pair of panties and socks in my pickleball bag.
Oh, do you?
Do you?
Well,
in case you mess yourself?
Sometimes I mess myself.
Your nerves.
Or a partner or an opponent will mess themselves, and I'll say, hold on. Let me get something out of my bag here. Yeah,
here, I got something for you.
It's your lucky day.
Especially on tournament day, because I get nervous. I get a little nervous.
You're like a kindergarten teacher.
Oh, yes.
Keep an extra pair for...
just in case there's a mess. We have that out there sometimes.
Well, I know that there are probably women who play I know there are women who play pickleball. And there is a new commercial, Kelly. I think you and I have seen it. I don't know if you, Dave and Biggie, have seen it yet, but it's a woman. She's riding a city bus, and it's for feminine hygiene. And they use a term that just... my jaw drops when I see it every time. She's getting off the bus, and she takes a step. She goes... she freezes for a second. She's like, oh, no, I'm gushing.
Gets into slow motion.
Gushing. She got a gusher.
So they have special products to keep on for your gush days.
On her period. Let's talk about it.
Not just a period.
More than that. She's gushing.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, my God, I got to
ruin this bus.
It's the elevator in The Shining.
Yes.
We got a gusher over here.
It's a flash flood that moves a bus in Vermont.
Look how far we've come.
Do you need a tampon? I need a quilt. Oh, my God. It's no shame in marketing nowadays.
No, we have.
Yeah,
every time you think they've crossed the last barrier.
Yeah, I thought call me old-fashioned. Call me conservative. Call me what you want. But haven't we crossed the line with gushing?
Gushing.
Would you like
even if you know it happens,
fine.
That's fine.
Yep.
But it doesn't need to be.
Are you saying, Biggie, bring some of the stigma back?
Let's get some stigma here.
I thought we had crossed the line when we went to tampon commercials where it's like, hey, everybody's flow is different.
No.
But now we're into
No. We have really come a long way, and I think in the last probably 15 or 20, people have been say more. Tell it. Give us all your.
But now we're ruining public transportation.
Well, yeah.
Don't sit in that seat. It's a gush day.
I'm gushing.
Yeah.
Remember,
poor bus driver.
Now, the famous thing about this is Courtney Cox, when she in 86 was doing a commercial for a tampon, and she was the first person ever to say the word period on television. And she was in a gym, and she said, when I get my period, blah, blah, blah. And everybody was like, oh, she said the word,
I'm trying to remember, because I'm old enough to remember when there were feminine hygiene commercials that, of course, did not say the word period, because that was too shocking.
Yes.
And I don't remember the language that they used.
Right.
I don't know what they just said.
What do you say?
Just said protection.
That time of the month or something.
I don't even think they said that.
They say that.
Probably didn't.
Could you imagine going back and playing the Gush commercial?
Yeah.
For the crowd that was watching it, 19 got uncomfortable with tampon. Dads would be throwing themselves off their decks.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's just
like
unimaginable.
During a Price is Right game in 1977. Throw the Gush lady on.
I'm gushing. Bob, I'm gushing.
How much is this box of gush-proof pads?
These are gush-proof pads, Bob.
He says in his copy they're gush-proof. I want you to win this.
But you know what?
It's a gush pad.
I'll bet they sell.
Playtex knows some days are heavier than others, and sometimes it's flash flood down there, ladies.
Here, takes this box. We can't use it.
Gosh, bad. Listen, Biggie and I watched the Sex and the City update, and just like that. And in see if you remember this. Last season, one of their episodes, what did they have? It was called like a flash period or something, where one of the characters thought she was done with her period, and at age 53 or 4, and just got one all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, and didn't even realize it. You know, she was walking down the street, and all of a sudden it was like, and I was like, oh my God. I mean, that show really brings me into contact with things I never think about.
Well, even they haven't gone gush.
They've not yet, but they
they haven't been in a nice New York restaurant and been like,
but they do a lot. They do a lot on there.
But females can relate to it.
Oh, I agree. I do
They
relate to it.
They know about gush days.
Yeah, you're right. There's probably women watching that say, "Thank God somebody gets me."
Saying somebody's talking.
It's
about
not just
that.
me.
Like, don't be embarrassed by it. So, but
it is natural.
But what Biggie is, it's like, can't we bring some stigma back to the television?
I still just think
a little stigma.
If your wife privately or somebody tells you you're dating, someone says, "Hey, just so you know, my periods are pretty intense and heavy." Someone call them gush. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be watching the news and it's like, hey, gush day.
Yeah, and that's what it is. She's getting right off that bus. Right off that bus, and she's got a gusher.
Oh, you want to see something? Watch this. Like, oh, no.
You know what? I'll tell you what they did on the Sex and the City reboot. Did you see last week's episode?
I think I'm caught up now.
You know what happened to Harry?
That's
new to me. He was okay. I don't know. It's very delicate.
Is he a love interest?
Charlotte's husband, Harry. Now,
the bald-headed guy.
The bald-headed guy. He's probably 60. Okay, and they're making love, and he has a dry climax. And she goes, because she was letting him like do some things he wanted to do, and she goes, "Did you just fake a climax?" He goes, "No," and she's, "Well, it's a dry." And that's a real thing, apparently.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. I mean, he got the sensation and everything, but nothing happened. And so they
No
went,
output.
No output. So they went to the doctor, and he had to start doing his Kegel exercises, which he did, and it worked. But I had never heard of anything like that before. I mean, is that? I guess it's a real thing.
It's a real thing. Yeah, I've heard of it.
Must be, but
that's a non-gusher.
Exact opposite.
For dudes, they're now showing the bent carrot commercials on TV for dudes with the bent dong.
Can we get some stigma here? I mean, the website is bentcarrot.com.
Yeah.
That is the website. We mentioned that when we first saw that on the news.
Yeah.
But I'd rather see bentcarrot.com than gusher.gold.
Gush bus.
Gush bus. Get on the gush bus, ladies.
Get on
Get on the gush bus.
On the pad,
Let's go.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can't remember his name, but there's a P1 that has been emailing me, or maybe through social media or email. And I think we talked about this before it happened, but the Wimbledon tennis tournament is wrapping up this weekend with the championships. And forever, their dress code was all white, including ladies' underpants.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
This year, they made allowances for dark underpants because some of the women players are like, "Hey, man, I'm gushing."
Yeah, right. That's right. That's right.
You try to time it, but sometimes it happens during the tournament.
Correct. And they did.
Now there are women players, and this guy
rule.
will email me religiously. "Look who's wearing dark panties today." It's like, bro,
It's her dark panty day.
bro.
Hey, man.
On court
When
one.
she's on white, her opponent's wearing dark.
Everybody's
Bro.
Bro.
elbowing everybody else.
I don't know when.
You know what that means, don't
You
you?
need to know.
Here on court one, Svetlana is wearing the dark panty. Oh my God, he's paying attention to that?
Yeah.
Good.
A little too much.
Lord.
A little too much.
Oh my God, no, I didn't realize it. I remember when they made that rule. Wimbledon, very late to come over to things like that. So I mean, that's probably the right thing.
Remember, they fined one of the guy who lost the final last year because he wore a red cap during the trophy ceremony.
Just during the trophy ceremony.
Yeah, he wore a white cap during the match. Carry-ons.
Yeah.
And then he put on a red cap.
Wow.
For his trophy.
His
runner-up trophy.
I'll tell you this now. I'm getting a little bit interested in Wimbledon.
There's 2 days left.
Why? Because the American lost?
I'm starting. That was a great story. I hated he lost. That the guy who lost from the United States.
Eubanks?
Yeah. But if there's a Djokovic versus Alcaraz final,
I'm going to gush.